Hey, so it's Monday morning on March 11th, 8:53 a.m. I recently had my eyes checked because, as you probably saw in the vlog, my glasses broke and I had to get new ones. These are one of the pairs that I got. I prefer these actually because I like the rose gold and I just like the shape of the frame. I also have another pair, these ones, that are also really cute. So I went to America's Best because my insured provider was unable to give me an appointment quickly enough. They just kept pushing me back, and then my glasses broke. My glasses were like on their last leg. They were seriously falling apart. They're so old, like at least 5 years old. I knew it was time to get new ones, so I had made an appointment back in the fall. They just kept rescheduling me, which is funny because we had that snow event that happened. So, and the appointment that I had originally made with my insured okay, not the original appointment, the rescheduled appointment that I made with the insured provider was scheduled for February 12th. And the snow happened February 11th to February 13th. So, or February 9th, really. They actually called me. I had already called and left a message that I wanted to cancel the appointment. And then they called us back on an automated voice message saying that all appointments for that day were canceled because of the snow event. So if I had waited and not just gotten my eyes taken care of, I would have still, to this day, not have had, because it's been 1 month since I maybe would be just now getting my glasses if I had waited, because they called me back February 15th after the snow like had melted mostly, and they were like, do you want to come in? And I said no, but it probably would have been for the week of February 20th, and so that was like 2 weeks ago. And so I got my glasses in a week and a half from America's Best. So if they were as fast as America's Best, I would have gotten my glasses either last week or this week. If they weren't, then I could still very well be waiting for my glasses. So I'm glad that I made that call and just got my glasses. Anyways, what brings me to today is, while I was at that appointment, the optician was looking at my eyes and he noticed that I have enlarged optic nerves in my eyes, and he was concerned that I might have glaucoma. I can get into it later, the history and stuff, but I'm here for my appointment. It's a 9:10 appointment, so I got 13 minutes before my appointment is actually supposed to start, and I'm gonna head in there early and hopefully they'll see me early, because I just want to get it over with, and I just want to get back home because I have to leave for work at 2:30. So I need to get this done as quickly as possible so I can have a little bit of time with the kids before work, because otherwise they won't be in a great mood if they don't have a little bit of time with mom during the day. They need some mommy time, so I need to get this over with. I'm gonna head in there and I will let you guys know what happens. excited, and the fact that I have it in my family history, it prevents a higher risk of me getting glaucoma. So I went through that. Hi guys, so it's actually been a few months since I filmed this. You know, that was not a fun time for me. I was super stressed out the whole time. I mostly wanted to film it because however this whole experience does develop over time, I just want to have a documentation of it and see where I started with it, really. I don't know how vloggers film their medical stuff because it is really personal and it's really hard to talk about on camera. It's hard to face your own medical challenges, let alone put it on film. So that being said, this was really hard for me, and I think the camera battery died, and then I just was so stressed out that I never went back and finished filming it. But I really want to still add this into our vlog because it was a big deal and it has had a huge impact on our lives, my life specifically. So I'm just going to give you a very, very condensed version of, because as I was watching this, I realized I was drawing myself out because I didn't really even want to say the words. So I was really slowly going through each step of the appointment, which really isn't necessary unless someone really wants to know what it takes to go through glaucoma screening. The point is, because I don't remember exactly the steps anymore of how that went down, which is in fact part of the reason why I'm filming, I can just give you a quick, in a nutshell, of what actually happened at that appointment. So I went through all of the intro steps, like I was saying there. And then my eyes were dilated, which was super uncomfortable. They've done that to me twice now. I think she dilated them so she could see if there was any glaucoma spots in my eyes, which there weren't. So that was good. But then I got interrupted, I'm sorry. Anyways, they dilated my eyes so she could have a better look at them. And then she wanted me to come back for a visual field test. The visual field test was very intense. I'm not sure if I had any footage on that. I've been scouring my vlogs. I'm so behind on vlogging to see if I had any footage of that, and I can't find any right now. If it does come up, then it will definitely end up in the vlog somewhere. But I do not think I vlogged it again because I was probably really stressed out about the whole thing, because that was my like test. I felt like I was being tested to determine whether or not I actually had glaucoma, and to see if I was blind at all was the main thing. Because I guess if you've been blind in certain areas your whole life, there's no way of knowing if you actually are. So I've done visual field tests before, but not like this one. This is a new machine that they were using, and it was super intense. That was stressful for me. That was really stressful for me. That happened, I believe, in May. I got that test done. So I agreed because I had... This is the part where it's challenging to talk about. So because I have high pressure in both of my eyes, I had, I think, 17 in one eye and like 18 in the other eye or something like that, or 18 in one eye and 19 in the other eye. It was somewhere around there. And your eye pressure needs to be under 20. So I'm definitely like, I was technically within the normal range, but for my age, you know, a 32-year-old, it shouldn't be that high. So I'm thinking that because I had preeclampsia with Rory, I had medical issues when I was pregnant with the kids, and I think that might have exacerbated things for me. I heard from the eye doctor, I think it might have been at that appointment that I was going over on this blog, that I've always had, it's a thinning optic nerve. So the optic nerve is enlarged and it's thinning, if that makes sense. And the doctor said that my eye just grew that way. I was born with thin optic nerves, and she had a picture, so they took pictures of my eye. They had me look, I had to put my chin up on this thing, and I had to like look at a certain, like a dot or something, and they took a picture of my eye, and she was able to see, I think, the whole optic nerve. I'm not exactly sure, but she showed me kind of the picture on there, and she said that it was misshapen. My optic nerve is misshapen in like one area. So most of it looks fine, but there's one area that is very thin. So I think maybe the pregnancies made it worse a little bit, but my eyes were always like that. I wasn't born with it. And I did talk with, I have a friend who, she's an albino. She has, she technically has glaucoma. She's legally blind. She has where her eyes shake. I forget the name of it right now. I'll look it up on the internet and I'll put it right there. She has that, and so she contacted me after I posted on Instagram about this whole experience for me, and she was telling me that just because they're putting a label on me, like that I have glaucoma or I don't have glaucoma or whatever label they're putting on me about my eyes, they're trying to make you feel like there's something wrong with you, when a lot of the times some people are just born like that, and there's nothing really wrong or nothing going wrong with your eyes. Like, especially if I was born with it, then it's not like all of a sudden now you're gonna have glaucoma for the rest of your life and blah 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 blah, which is how I felt at the time of this video. I felt like I was getting this label put on me, and I was being told that I was gonna go blind, and just drama, And she really helped me to feel more calm about it, because she's been dealing with this her whole life, and she has it way worse than I do, obviously, and I have nothing to complain about, really. So to give you guys just a quick summary of what the doctor said, she basically said that because my eyes were like that when I was born, and because I'm nearsighted, and because of all the issues, like my grandma having glaucoma and everything like that, the way that my eyes look, I think she said 99% of people my age don't have this problem with the optic nerve. And so she said that if I don't have glaucoma now, I will have it when I'm older, pretty much guaranteed. I passed my visual field test. I passed it. I didn't have any blind spots. I felt like I was gonna fail the whole time. Like, I was so nervous, because you have to click on the button if there's a little wave on the screen, and when you're looking at it at the white screen, it's hard to see. Basically, I can't even explain it. I can't explain the visual field test in a quick soundbite. I can't. But I did pass it. I didn't have any blind spots, which was great news. Because my eye pressure was high, and because my optic nerve looks the way it does, the doctor at my last appointment decided to give me the diagnosis of like early glaucoma. So I don't really know what to say about that. I'm not happy about that, but at the same time, if she wants to put a label on it, there's not much I can do. But I did end up getting, at that appointment, when she told me your pressure's too high, she gave me two options. She told me that I could either have eye drops for the rest of my life and take the same eye drops for the rest of my life, or I could have a laser treatment done to relieve my eye pressure with the laser. And she told me that my eye surgery, if I got the laser surgery, it was 80% covered, and it's a $400 procedure. So I was thinking it was $400 per eye, probably, so that's $800. And if it's 80% covered, that's like $80 or something per eye. So I'm thinking, okay, I can cover $200 for that, and I'll be fine. And then she said the laser treatment lasts for 2 years. So I get the procedure done. It lasts for 2 years. I pay $80 per eye. Seems like a reasonable deal, right? Well, I have a $1,000 bill because the procedure was 0% covered from my insurance. Don't you love medical insurance when it's actually useful? I got the treatment done, and it lowered my eye pressure by like 3 points. My eye pressure went from like 17 or 18 down to 15. So it's 15 in both eyes now. I do think that it helped, but I don't think it dramatically like helped my eyes. I generally feel the same as I did before I had the treatment done, which is kind of disheartening because I'm going to be paying this thing off for probably the next year, but that's what happened, honestly. You know, it's not a fairy tale ending. She said that my pressure's fine. It's stable, but it's like it went down 3 points. Basically, I have no good ending to this vlog. I don't know how to end it nicely. I do have some answers, and that's the important part. I don't know. I'm glad that I'm not going through that right now. I know I do bring this up again in the vlogs. I brought it up in a recent vlog because I just went in for an eye appointment a couple weeks ago. And the worst part about it, this is something I said in a few vlogs ago, but I haven't edited yet, obviously. The worst part about this is that I'm gonna have to go to the eye doctor every 4 months for basically the rest of my life, and I don't like that. I don't want to go to the eye doctor that much. I would rather just be left alone, you know. I get that she wants to make sure it doesn't get worse, but how many times can you do the same test in a year to double check and make sure that it's not getting worse? Especially if I was born with it. I mean, she's just waiting and waiting and waiting for the glaucoma that I apparently have to start developing. I kind of feel like I'm being given the runaround a little bit here. So that's the worst part about all this. I don't want to go to the eye doctor every 4 months for the rest of my life. I don't. It took me 5 years just to go to the eye doctor to get my eyes checked for a regular nearsighted prescription. So I don't like that part. I especially don't like the part where I have to pay for it because my insurance doesn't cover it. Anyways, I just want to finish this vlog, so sorry it didn't end better. I was hoping for just oh, sorry, our mistake, you don't have glaucoma, but that was not the case. So, life goes on, right? Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.